Investor Connect podcast program. This is Hall T. Martin. I'm the host of the show, in which we interview angel investors, venture capital, private equity, family offices, and many other investor groups for startups and growth companies. I hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you for joining us. Hello, this is Hall Martin with Investor Connect. Today we're here with Andrey Voronkov of Voronkov Ventures. Andrey, thank you for joining us. What was your background before coming to crypto?
Hello, Martin. Thank you for the invitation for this interview. My background is computational biochemistry, and that stands for like bioinformatics and chemoinformatics. It's in silico drug discovery. It's usage of computers, calculations, parallel computing, distributed computing for drug design and molecular modeling and biological networks analysis or omics data analysis. So that's not very far from IT and computing. And I came to blockchain through my project on fog computing, which is called a supercomputer organized by network mining, SONM. I'm one of three co-founders together with Sergey Ponomarev and Alexey Antonov. And in order to raise funds for our startup, we have conducted quite successful ICO about a year ago, which has raised around $42 million US. And project is alive and functioning well. It progresses according to roadmap. So the main net is already released and testnet was released in December. And now project is in a purely commercial phase when sales team interacts with potential clients and business team is doing business development. And I came to SONM through my project Drug Discovery, which is specialized on computing for bioinformatics and chemoinformatics. And then together with our co-founders, we decided to make a general purpose fog computing, which will be something like decentralized exchange for computing applications and computing power. So after that ICO, I became interested much more generally in blockchain and ICO projects because I think that's a very important story for startups, which by some reason are neglected by other funding bodies, for example, because they are quite early stage startups. And I think there was a very big demand for such crowdfunding resource. Previously, crowdfunding was looking quite differently. So someone was funding projects in order to get some product, some t-shirt and so on. And now in ICO, it's possible to get tokens, which can be like utility token, like partial goods, or in some cases, something like security token, and can offer potential investment, a very important feature to exit project and enter project basically at any stage.
So congratulations on having a successful ICO, and it sounds like your project is doing well. You must have seen quite a bit of the investing world as you went through the fundraise for your company. Can you talk about the state of investing in blockchain? How is the industry evolving and where do you see it going?
Well, as one may expect, there are some drawbacks of system banking principle, quite anarchic and decentralized. So from one side, blockchain and ICO evangelists, as they say, that we are kind of new technology, alternative financial system, and we have a lot of bonuses. We're international. We are better optimized for finance for different reasons. And so there's a lot of pluses in technology indeed. But from other side, unfortunately, technology has opportunity, gives opportunity for people to misuse it in their own interests and do such things like building financial pyramids, making frauds, not implementing the purposes, and so on and so on and so on. And I would estimate that 2017 was a year of very, very high optimism, over-optimism about ICOs, about Ethereum and similar blockchains, about everyone making own tokens and money. And people were just crazy about possibility to earn a lot of money fast just by simply investing in any kind of tokens or cryptocurrency. But what happened afterwards is that this market was overheated, and by different reasons it started to collapse a little bit. So some people started to exit for whatever reason, to pay loans. Also, there was regulation coming, and so on. And of course, tokens and crypto in the state of, let's say, December 2017 didn't have such real world backing as more traditional financial instruments. So with all its pluses, it also has minuses, such as low possibility for control from investors over startups. And there are several solutions for this which are on the table. One is traditional solution, is regulation, laws, and most probably it will come. But anyway, this technology, it's indeed very international and not so easy to regulate, prohibit, and control. So I would say that the only real and good solution for the market is to become mature, mature for every player in this market. For those people which were investing some money without real understanding what is Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency, and so on, this is a really very good opportunity to learn from their mistakes, as well as basically for everybody, because we also make mistakes and everybody does, and become more experienced and maybe share their experience with others and use it to make successful business in the future. And the community itself will have to elaborate good technological solutions. And many such technological solutions, not regulatory, but technological, are on the table as well, such as decentralized autonomous organizations, DICO, decentralized escrows, different various smart contracts, oracles, reputation on blockchain solutions, and so on. So the simple description of these technologies is securing control of investors over their money and control of investors over the startups. So the functions which blockchain and cryptocurrencies provide to the market should be the same or more rich than what traditional financial institutions provide nowadays, and the same level of security and rights, different players' rights protection should be present in the field, and ideally it would come not from regulators, but from community itself through technological solutions.
There's certainly a lot going on in the space, and it was a great 2017, but a quarter of all ICOs went dead by into the first quarter in 2018, so it's a riskier game than it certainly looked like before. What do you think is a good investment thesis for investors coming in 2018? What deals should they be looking for that are not going to be so challenging to see to the end?
Yes, okay. I will put it in very couple of phrases which will help everybody who listens to this to earn money. So, one thing, it is always important to remember that no magic wand is invented. High gain means high risk. High risk means high gains. It's almost always correlated. That's one thing. And the second thing is that as the most professional traders and cryptocurrencies managers, they earn money both on market going down and up. So that is the thing which community needs, all participants, is to get educated and get how it's called financial literacy, knowledge, and understanding. For example, during the months of Bitcoin going down, especially last 1 month, I have dozens of friends who became very rich. And they earn a lot of money. Someone earns $30,000 per week, someone $300,000 per week, and someone even more. What they're doing? They're shorting. They're playing on the market going down. It's very simple. For example, there is a exchange BitMEX, which now is the biggest by their volumes. They have not all cryptocurrency, but in principle, I foresee that in the future there will be exchange with same mechanism, which will have all cryptocurrencies. So what they're doing, they basically give you crypto, some cryptocurrency at certain price, you sell it immediately, you make position on short, and then when market goes down, you buy back a cryptocurrency at lower price and sell and provide it to pay the credit, and you take the difference. So if Bitcoin goes from 6,500 to 6,000 and you are in this short position, then you win at least 500. Or if you have a margin and you have what's called leverage and like 25, 50, 100 times, you can earn really a lot, even if you have just one start from $1. So it doesn't matter for a person who understands public market if market goes up or down. The most important is that market goes somewhere, and when it stops going very fast in one direction or another, you can switch to smaller coins more volatile, and still it will work. And I believe in my perfect world that blockchain and cryptocurrency will allow anyone who wants to do something useful to launch their own startup and go directly to public market right from the start, even with idea. And trading and earning money both on bear and bullish market will make people more professional, and there will be no bad feelings about Bitcoin or something else going down. So it's very important to remember that there are financial instruments that allow literally everyone to earn money on cryptocurrencies going down.
That's very important to remember. The market can go up, the market can go down, and many people in the financial world are on both sides of that equation, so it can be challenging for investors. So in the final few minutes we have today, what else should we cover that we haven't?
I would say some things which I notice and which I think are important for the community. I think it's very important to understand what we are doing. That we are doing not just some financial things which will help us to live better and which will have to move technology forward. We're doing basically a revolution in all organization. What I mean, for example, if you have United States dollar, it's good. It can be used in different countries. If you have euro, it's also good in different countries or any other national currency. But this national currency is national currency. It is emitted and regulated by a certain state. In case of cryptocurrency, there is no national jurisdiction, and the laws and regulations should be, and I think finally will come to the same common ground, because interests of people are connected all over the world with blockchain. I would say that's the most global and globalist thing which unites our world together in terms of at least economics, right? So internet unites us in terms of communication. Internet allowed us to rebuild the economic and make it much more fair, decentralized, people-oriented, using Bitcoin and using blockchain. And I think that it's very important that people understand this philosophy and think more about how to unite community, how to help to each other, rather than having some internal conflicts or some internal not very friendly stories. And I would say that we should work more toward international cooperation and maybe international cooperation on political agenda. So that is of very big interest of the community, that laws, regulations, and attitude of governments all over the world in any country will be the most favorite for us. And if we stay and become united all over the world between different countries, that will help us to bring together our interests in any single national regulation, culture, and economic structure.
That's a good point. Bitcoin is a worldwide tool that brings everybody together, and it's a new world for everybody to consider. How best for the audience to get back in touch with you?
They can use contact form with website. I think my email also is there. So it's called Voronkov Ventures, Andrew or Andrey, Voronkov. And there is my website, voronkov.io or voronkov.ventures. And we are looking for innovative, outstanding ideas and teams. In contrast to very many investors and venture funds, we are interested in early stage startups. Basically, it's fine if you have a brilliant idea. But of course, it's even better if you have a plan and the team. But we do not reject people which just coming with idea, because I think that's the core value in everything.
Well, great. So we'll put the website in the show notes as well as your LinkedIn profile, and encourage people to reach out to you directly.
Yes.
And appreciate your taking time to share your thoughts with us today. Hope to have you back for a follow-up soon, but want to wish you the best.
Thank you very much, and all the best to you and your audience.
Investor Connect helps investors interested in startup funding. In this podcast series, experienced investors share their experience and advice. You can learn more at investorconnect.org. Paul T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.